Hey everybody, I just got a couple little odds and ends here that I wanted to take care of, and I also wanted to just make an announcement. I am on the brink of 8,000 subscribers. I'm literally, at last check, I was about 6 subs away from the 8,000 mark. I'm really glad to see that because it took me years to get to 5,000 subs, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I was announcing the 5,000 sub mark. And here we are on the verge of 8,000 subs, so it seems like things are starting to maybe pick up a little bit momentum. More people might be sharing videos. Lately I've just seen a surge, crazy surge in viewership of specific videos, in particular my microwave oven videos, microwave oven transformer videos to be specific, where we play around with high voltage. So I don't know if somebody posted a link to that video on some obscure site, or maybe not so obscure site, but just the site that I'm not familiar with. But all of a sudden it seems like a lot of people are coming to this channel to watch those videos. Quite a few people are giving their 2 cents on exactly what I'm doing wrong, why I'm not developing the kind of sparks that I was hoping I would get with that thing. And a few people are concerned for my welfare. So anyways, long story short, looks like maybe we gotta do a little bit of high voltage experimentation at some point and get back to that, because that seems to be what people give the people what they want, so to speak. In the meantime, I wanted to talk about just a couple of things on the tail end of this last estate sale series that I did, where I picked up these machinist tools. I'm going to start out by talking about this mystery Brown and Sharp indicator stand. This is the stand that I bought just the way you see it here, and it's got this very beefy clamp on it, and it takes a fairly large rod here, and I wasn't able to find any indicator rods or anything that would fit in here amongst the things that this guy had in boxes and stuff laying around. So I went online, tried to find out about this. So what I can find is I was able to find a couple of these just like this that are on eBay. Unfortunately, they're just basically exactly what you see here. A lot of those were missing this. And then I went into Google Images. I searched Brown and Sharp magnetic stand, and I combed through Google Images, and I did find one photograph of what appears to be a stand exactly like this, with just a large chrome-plated post sticking out of this part right here. So that wasn't really getting me anywhere. There are no part numbers on this whatsoever. I did finally find one that looked like this, that had an arm coming out for an indicator, and it almost looked to me like it was a bushing that went in here that reduced this down. But I then went to a website that supposedly has these stands, and I was able to find a photograph of what appeared to be just like this, something that looked just like this. And I was able to find that this is a website called National Supply Source, but they list 2 versions of what they call the Doghouse heavy-duty magnetic base. You can see the shape there. It looks like a doghouse, right? So that's where it gets its name. I don't know if that's really a legitimate name for it, if that's just what this particular company's calling it. But they have 2 versions. So the first one, it gives a little bit of information here, and one of the things that it says is it says the post diameter and length. And in both cases, the posts are 7 3/13 inch tall, which is what this is. And one of them, the post is 0.987 or 987 thousandths in diameter, and the other one, the post, is 738 thousandths in diameter. Well, when I checked this one, it actually is about 987. But I think that's still the post, even though that's not quite the same, because this one is 738 This one is 7:38 on the dot. Furthermore, this post on this one is 373 thousandths or thereabouts. It's just a real quick down and dirty measurement. It's 375 thousandths by 9 inches is what this post right here is. So this stand right here, I can say with all confidence, is in fact under description 2 it says adjustable number 599-7744-7. What if we plug that in to Google, whether or not we'll get pictures of this stand? By the way, this company claims that they can fulfill this. If you order one of these, they can get you one of these for $385.57. I mean, that's even much more money than a Noga Big Boy. So that's kind of nuts. But not as nuts as the heavy duty one, this one right here. Albeit it would come with the fine adjustment arm. So it would have an arm that would come out here with a fine adjustment on it. And that is $738.22. So I thought that was kind of funny. So the two part numbers they're showing here are 599-7742-7 and 599-7744-7. So take a good look at that clamp. And this is on that same website. This is the picture that they have. And you can see it's identical. So what I'm missing is I'm missing this whole arm right here. And in addition to the arm on the end, there is a fine adjustment mechanism. Alright, so mystery solved. This is in fact a Brown & Sharp model 599-7742-7. Oddly enough, the 44, the higher number, is the lighter one with the smaller post. So if you were actually in the market for one of these, you can pick one up brand new on eBay of all places for $349.95 plus shipping. That's actually a really good price for that, considering what some of these other vendors want. There's actually a vendor on Amazon that is supposedly selling this for over $1,300. I don't understand where some people come up with their prices, and that vendor's rating is like 80%. So that's not good. That means a lot of people had problems with that vendor. So and I found some other online companies that were advertising this in $900 to $1,200. So this might make a good project. Just to make a post to go on here to fit this would be pretty easy. And then on the end of it, I was thinking maybe the thing to do would be to buy an Indicall, or maybe an Indicall knockoff indicator. In other words, this little part right here, this is my older Indicall. Sorry, this is my older Noga holder, and this is the fine adjustment right here. And all this does is this allows this to move at a very small incremental angle for fine adjustment once you get this, so that you're not actually trying to, fine tune it by grabbing this and dialing it in. You get close with this, and then you fine tune it with this. So you can actually purchase this part right here. I think this threads on. I actually don't remember how that mounts on there. But I do know that I've seen that these are available from Noga separately. There it is right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the genuine Noga one. This is the new version. This is what came on my my new Noga Big Boy indicator holder. And it's got this little plastic piece right here that it flips around, and so it gives you actually 3 different hole sizes to choose from. It's got the fine adjustment on it there, and that's just got a threaded stud on the end there. So that would be pretty easy. Now that in the actual Noga holders, that threads into a ball joint, and those are $32.37 on eBay with free shipping, so it's not exorbitantly expensive. You are paying for the Noga name here, and I got to tell you, a lot of this is plastic, so you know, maybe something in a Shars might be just as good in this particular situation. Well, there's the Shars one, quite a bit cheaper. You can see it's $687, but then there's $480 shipping. So now you back up to about $12, and the problem I see with this one is it's not as versatile as the Noga, because the way that it's set up, yeah, I can see that there's going to be a rod that's going to go through the side there, I guess. And there's no fine adjustment. That's the biggest problem. The fine adjustment doesn't exist on this one. So I was searching using indicator clamp, and it turns out if you put indicator holder and just sort from lowest price, you can find some of these dirt cheap Chinese import ones. These are literally coming from like Hong Kong, I think. So you got to wait longer for delivery, but if you want dirt cheap, $2.08 with free shipping. It's amazing to me. So that's going to come e-packet from China. Yeah, nuts. Oh, one sold in 1 hour. They're almost gone. And I always get a kick out of these Chinese listings with this really cheap stuff because of the broken English in the description. A lot of errors there in there, a lot of grammatical errors. But my favorite one is right here, where it says, "Note: please allow 1 to 3 millimeter error due to manual measurement. PLS, make sure you do not mind before you bid." Make sure you don't mind before you bid that this thing, yeah, you know, it's gonna not be exactly the dimensions we say it is, because we've got trouble with manual measurements. Come on. Okay, turns out the part number for that Noga clamp is the FA1500, and I found it by searching just for Noga clamp as just as Noga clamp. It's an FA1500, $27 and free shipping on eBay, and that's actually the best price. I did then use that information to search on Amazon, and it's $27.45 with Prime. I get free shipping on that, so it's 45 cents more on Amazon. But the funny thing about Amazon is there's all kinds of people selling this. So look at this. Here's somebody selling the same exact thing. They want $58.53. Free shipping on eligible orders. So they might even want shipping on top of that for the same thing that is right here for $27.45. I'm actually going to go with the eBay one because it's coming out of Michigan, and the seller's got 100% feedback, so that's looking pretty good. So I think we're gonna let's buy that, and that'll actually force me to do something down here in the shop for a change, huh? Well, as long as we're talking about outrageously priced things on the internet and how a little bit of searching can go a long way, making the difference in getting a good deal and overpaying. In the last video series, I showcased this Minotauro height gauge that I picked up, and one of the issues with the height gauge is that it's missing this clamp that goes right here and holds the height gauge on, and then also allows you to take the scriber off and put other attachments on. So I went online and I was able to find the part number for this this missing clamp. I searched all around, and this is a company, Zorro. You guys probably see this pop up a lot. I don't know exactly what their deal is, if they're just a cyber presence there that, again, when you order something through their website, they may very well just be automatically linking to some other company's warehouse somewhere. Might be one of these entities that doesn't actually have their own warehouse stocking material. Although it is interesting that we've got the Zorro packing list. All right, so this can be a really good place to find good deals. They don't always have what you're looking for, but when I was searching that part number for the Minotauro clamp, Zorro was one of the ones that came up, and several others came up, and a few of them came up with prices that were actually less than this company's price. But then what ends up happening is no one was offering free shipping on this part, so I don't believe so, anyways. Or if they were asking so much for the part, it didn't make sense. So what ends up happening is sometimes you have to put the damn thing in their cart, put in your zip code. It's a whole pain in the ass to get them to calculate the cost. Some of them may even add tax on because they have some sort of an entity in your state, some kind of a business entity in the state, and they're required to collect sales tax. So what ended up happening in this case was, in the end, after checking with several of them and checking the shipping, the better deal I was getting on shipping through Zorro, combined with the price they were asking for the clamp, ended up being the best overall price. Unfortunately, this is a packing slip. I just realized, so I actually don't have the price, so hold on, I've got it. All right, guys, here it is. So it's Zorro's number. It's that G6996 whatever number. The manufacturer's number is a 901385, and the price on Zorro was $21.82 for that little stupid clamp, which is actually a pretty good price. Then I had to pay shipping on it, which I think ended up bringing this up to, I think, $28. And here it is on a company I found called Transcat for $19.09. But then once I added the shipping in, it ended up being more. This company wanted more to ship it than through Zorro. And the other thing that's interesting is, even though this came in with the Zorro packing list and I ordered it through the Zorro website, I paid for it by PayPal. And when I looked at my PayPal account was actually billed by Walmart, of all places. So go figure. It says it came from Zorro in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. This is interesting. Right here on PO, there's a really long number, and the last part of the number is, it's an alphanumeric number. The last part is WAL. I bet you that's code for Walmart. There it is in all its beauty. It doesn't look so ugly, but they double bagged it just in case the first bag breaks. I should also mention that Shars actually makes a generic clamp to replace this clamp. This is supposed to be a genuine Minatoyo, and this little piece of paper right here is the proof of that, because, well, actually it says that this product uses volatile corrosion inhibitor paper, Feburary. Safety precautions, handle under adequate ventilation. So this little piece of paper, that's weird. Right here in real tiny words it says Minatoyo Corp, and in the corner down here it says Made in Japan. So this is a genuine Minatoyo clamp. Imagine if after all that it didn't fit. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. Cool beans. Ooh, I'm looking forward to making some room for my surface plate and get that set up. And last thing I want to do before I call this video a wrap is just go over a couple of things I picked up the street. This is the estate sale that was right near me that I went to, that I didn't end up really buying a whole heck of a lot of tools at that one. One of the items that was up there that I was really interested in and wasn't able to cut a deal on was a large old tap and die set, not unlike this old thing here, which is, this case is in really rough shape, and this is not complete. But this style of tap and die set that you come across occasionally at swap meets, the old wooden case, and the one on this particular one that I saw was, I think, a number 7 Little Giant. So it had the nice label up here, and what struck me about the case, that particular set, was it was very, very clean. The lacquer on the box was very nice. You opened it up, everything was really nice and clean. Condition was really nice. The thing is, I've got so many loose taps and dies. I've got pretty much probably multiples of any size I'm going to need. And I've got multiple tap wrenches that I've collected over the years, and I still occasionally pick them up. Um, as far as die wrenches, um, I have die holders that I can use in my tailstock of my lathe. Um, so these sets aren't really practical to me, and I don't know if they were practical to anybody anymore. They're more of a collectible. So he had a really nice one there. The people that were selling it had a gentleman who was in charge of the basement area there, and I couldn't get him to take less than $100 for it. So he kept claiming that he was going to get more money online. I decided, since it was right up the street, I'd stop up, and because I had forgotten about, I had noticed some stuff on the shelf in the garage, oils and stuff like that. I know that whenever you're cleaning out a house, companies that do these cleanouts, the state cleanouts, they always give that stuff away for next to nothing because they don't want to deal with it. I never really quite understood that, because you would think that even like maybe guys working at the company or whatever, they've got things they could put the engine oil in, for instance. But hey, whatever, no problem. I don't mind taking it off their hands. And I did want to kind of find out what happened with the set. So I still don't know what happened with the set. The set's gone. The guy who was working there, he claims that he turned it over to somebody who sells online, and that they took a percentage of 25%, and he claims that they sold it for, well, it was funny. Initially he said they sold it for $150 and then plus $30 shipping. And when I asked him where online he sold it, he said on Craigslist. So I thought that was kind of interesting, that they supposedly sold it on Craigslist, but they were shipping it. Because Craigslist is more of a localized thing. I mean, you can search nationwide, but it's kind of unusual somebody would search nationwide for a little giant tap set. And then later on, the conversation came up again. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, they wanted some exorbitant money. He wanted exorbitant amount of money for a few items that I picked up and threw in with this box. Some strap hinges, which I'm not going to bother showing you, and 3 oil cans, which I will show you, and some old knives. So what was funny, I'll show you the knives too, because they're kind of neat. But what was funny was when it came up again about the price, he then said that they sold it for $130. So the price changed again. So I don't think I could get a straight answer out of that gentleman regarding what actually happened with that tap set. And quite frankly, at this point, I'm over it. It won't be the last of the ones that got away, and I got enough stuff here now. I really don't got to worry about it. So let's talk about this. Whenever you go to estate sales, yard sales, it's going to be an estate sale. Yard sale, the people are going to keep this stuff in the garage on the shelf. But an estate sale where they're cleaning out the house because there's a for sale sign in the front yard, maybe you're lucky and they're even under contract already, because then they really got to clean out fast, and the prices drop quickly. Well, never overlook stuff on the shelves or in cabinets in the garage or basement regarding chemicals. So when I inquired about whether or not they'd be interested in selling those products, they actually said I could have them. So I actually got all of these chemicals for free, but then I added some items, and then they wanted, Mr. High Price came in, and he wanted $60, and I said I was going to offer you $20, and then I was going to walk away when they wanted to squeeze me for more, and then they finally just said, okay, go ahead, take it for $20. So I'll show you that in a moment, but here's what I got for free. It was interesting to me. There was a lot of quarts of motor oil that are open, not full. So that's about 1/3 of a quart. Superflow. Mobile Super Synthetic. Again, not full. Fleetline ATF fluid, that's full. Old brake fluid, that's full. Valvoline, not full. Not full. Almost full. Genuine Honda 4-stroke motor oil. This is where you really pay through the nose. Now, this must be old. This is from Motorsports International out on Route 20 in Auburn. $3.25. That's actually a decent price for this. This must be old. No date on here. But anyways, genuine Honda motor oil, that's normally going to cost you more. Napa brake fluid. Duplex heavy duty motor outboard motor oil, 50-1. Oh, okay, so this is 2-stroke mix oil. Four-cycle motor oil, air-cooled engines, so this is for small engines. Starting fluid, always check, make sure it still sprays. Whoa, whoa. Electronic cleaner. Okay, this is the brand, this is the CRC brand that I find on the shelf at Napa. So this is for cleaning your connectors and things like that. And this stuff is like $5 a can. This can's almost full. You even still got the straw. And this is about this full of Zip Wax car wash and wax. Combination car wash and wax. You can always use that. And this is interesting. This is just an empty plastic container. It says 4-stroke engine oil. But I don't think it's ever been used for anything. I think it's clean on the inside. No, I stand corrected. This did have oil in it. But what I thought was interesting about this was it's basically it's a good container for pouring oil, right? So if you want to take oil out of this quart, all right, and put it in your motor, and you know, if it's really full, it can be a little tricky to get it without spilling. But because your fill spout's down there or whatever. But if you can do one of these deals, take this off, transfer it into here, then you could tip this down, put that cone right down inside there, probably walk away and let it just drain. Hey, this just in. I was working on this video last night and the battery died, and I decided to take a break and went upstairs and checked and hit 8,000 subscribers. So thank you to everybody who's subscribed in the past, and I appreciate the continued support, people watching the videos. It's nice to see. And well, without further ado, so let's get on to finishing this little video. So I started to I was talking about the oil, and I was going to say that, you know, some people are real sticklers as to what they use in their engines for oil. And I can certainly understand with your daily driver, your automobile, or your daily driver pickup truck. You know, you might have a diesel pickup truck and you only use Rotella. I understand that. And some guys only want to use full synthetic, semi-synthetic. You know, this is a super synthetic here. This is good oil. So the question might be, well, why do you bother with this old oil? And the reason why I bother with this old oil is because something like my old Oliver 770 diesel with that old Waukesha engine that was made back in, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s probably, that motor, it's not going to care how much oil it leaks or burns in the process of running. I might be a little bit more finicky with what I put in there if I had just gone through and did a complete rebuild on the thing, but that's not the case. Also, you know, air-cooled engines on lawnmowers, stuff like that and everything, you know, again, any old oil might be okay, in my opinion. And I know some people are going to differ with me on that. You know, something like this, Fleetline transmission fluid, it doesn't even say on the front of it what the heck standard this adheres to. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's got the Devcon, Mercron, Decron 2, Mercon, CJ. I mean, these are old standards. But something like this is more in line with what's actually spec'd to be used in the power steering system on the old Oliver. I think there was something else that this might be used in on the Oliver. Anyways, point is, there's always a use for these older fluids. You just gotta be a little bit finicky about maybe where you put them, but it's not like a situation where it's so old that it's not useful at all. I got one other box with some miscellaneous fluids. We'll go through that real quick, and then I guess we'll wrap this up. Gallon of bar and chain oil. This looks like Echo brand by the looks of it here. Well, actually, this just says Power Care bar and chain oil. I don't know who this is sold through. Don't really care. It's just bar and chain oil, so I can use that in my chainsaws. There must have been a chainsaw at that sale that they sold, and whoever bought the chainsaw must not have spotted this oil. But that's about half full, so that's good. Diesel fuel supplement and conditioner cetane boost. This is to help with gelling at extremely low temperatures of diesel fuel. Now, up here in the Northeast, the stations actually, I believe they start to carry what they call a winter blend. So the diesel already has some additives in it for that, but I'm sure there's no harm. This actually also says prevents against fuel filter icing, to protect pumps and injectors. This has slick diesel lubricator in it. Okay, so there's a reason to use this all year right there, that slick diesel lubricator. So the slick diesel lubricator and any diesel lubrication supplements that you see being sold on the market right now, the reason why those came about is when they went to the low sulfur diesel, by removing the sulfur, they took away some of the lubricity of the diesel fuel, which is required by the very close tolerance components in the injector pumps. So this will help actually protect your injector pump. Fleet Charge antifreeze. Okay, this is SCA pre-charge coolant antifreeze for heavy duty engines. He had a diesel pickup apparently at some point. D-I-S-S-E-L. Dissel. I'm sure he meant diesel. Here's another one. Only got about that much in it. And then this one here, he's only got about this much in it. This one's marked Taurus, so he must have had a Ford Taurus at some point. But I took a quick look in here, and these all look like they're straight antifreeze, no water mixed. I'm not sure why he had a habit of having individual containers for each vehicle. Again, dumping this in an old tractor. Cooling system, no harm there. And here are the 3 little oil cans that I picked up at this sale. This one is marked Royal Tools 5-ounce pump oiler. Alright, I don't know how old that one is. It's real dirty. It seems to work fine. Actually, this is empty right now. This one almost looks like an eagle, but I don't see a maker's name anywhere on this. Unless it's on the, oh wait, it's right on the top here. No, it's a goldenrod. I knew it looked familiar. Goldenrod, that's a pretty common name in oil cans. So this has got the flexible spout, which is nice. I think my father even had one of these. This is a newer one. This says on the bottom, the Dutton Lainson Company, L-A-I-N-S-O-N Company, Hastings, Nebraska, USA. So that's a kind of a neat one. But the coolest looking one to me is this one here. I've never seen one like this. So this has got a kind of a bent spout that's fixed. This one is also empty. It's got an unusual cap to it. Okay. It's not threaded on. It's like almost like a bayonet style. Locks onto a tang there. That's kind of a funky looking one though. Okay, so this says Gustav and something on the top here. I can't quite make out because it goes underneath this lever. Kind of hard to see. But on the bottom here it says Gustav Lidstein Industries, or IND. So Gustav Lidstein Industries or Gustav Lidstein Industrial, Chicago, Illinois. All right, so these Gustav Lidstein oilers, I just looked this up, and pretty popular company that made oilers back in the day. Can't really find an age on this one. Nearest I could tell, this might be what they call a Model J1, and that's just based off an eBay listing, which may or may not be correct. I found two of them listed on eBay currently. They're both asking. They're both sellers are asking around the same price, around $32. No sold sales within the past however long. eBay keeps those sold sales up, so can't really go by that as to value. Interesting thing, both of those listings are claiming that this is a stainless steel. That this is a stainless steel oil can. On the bottom here, you might be able to pass this for stainless, but the thing is, it's tarnished with age. It's got this gray metal color to it. Both of the listings had the same coloring to them, and I'm not thinking stainless at all. And the other thing is, it's ferrous, it's magnetic. So if it was stainless, it would have to be really poor quality stainless steel, and actually this is actually sticking pretty good. So this is not stainless, and it's not aluminum. It's most likely, it might be galvanized steel, not sure, or something with some sort of a plating on it, but it's not stainless. Okay, so anyways, it's still a neat little oiling can. I'd love to know what era this is from, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find out. I did find one reprint of a catalog that I was able to look through from the 1900s, but that had the older style cans in it. Did have some pump cans in it though, but it didn't feature this one on the catalog that I saw. But, I mean, if I dig deeper, I might be able to find out, but I don't really care. I'm probably not that interested in the value, only because I don't think I'm going to sell it. I'll probably end up keeping it for myself. So just a neat little can. So I guess that's going to be about a wrap for this episode. Don't really have anything else. Oh, wait a minute. I said I was going to show you guys those knives. They're not really machinist tools or anything like I usually focus on with these types of little videos. But, hey, a knife really is a tool when you think about it. And everybody loves knives.
Knives.
I go over to the washing machine in the basement, and this is what was sitting on top of the washing machine in the basement, and it had been sitting there a while. They've had, like I said, it's been a couple weeks since the first day of the sale, and they keep trying to have a sale every weekend to slowly chip away to getting rid of stuff. They're not pricing stuff low enough for it to be blowing out the door really quick, so that's part of their problem that they're having. They're holding out for more, which, hey, you know what? I guess if you don't have a offer on the house. I asked about the house, whether they had an offer yet on it, and they said that they think the agent was holding off on showing it until they cleaned out the mess, but I don't know. Anyways, so this knife here, I pulled this out, and I was like, whoa, that's a big knife. Now that's a knife, as Paul Hogan would say in Crocodile Dundee. So, I forgot, I measured this before, I forgot, it's well over 12 inches from the tip to the end here. I don't even know terminology. I think this right here would be called the hilt. I don't know. This part inside the wood here, I think, is called the tang, and it stops short of coming all the way through, so I don't think this is what they call a full tang. It's got evidence that it's been sharpened quite a bit. It is right now very sharp. And it is marked clearly made in Sweden. All right, so over here it says made in Sweden, stainless, and over here it says Frost's Mora, M-O-R-A. And what I learned is that this is Mora is a region in Sweden where apparently they're doing a lot of knife making, and Frost's is a trade name that a company called Mora Knife, M-O-R-A K-N-I-V, no E on it, Mora Knife uses for a line of knives that they make and sell for professionals, kitchens and stuff like that. This knife has a part number stamped right into it of, I believe, 3275. I'm sorry, it might be 5275. And I think this might be a butchering knife, they might call it. I don't remember exactly. It's kind of a neat knife. It's got some corrosion here around the little brass rivets. It's a big knife, okay? So I already contacted somebody I know pretty well who's really big into doing his own barbecue. He's got multiple big grills, and he loves, you know, doing the whole beef brisket type of deal and everything. So he's the only guy I know that might be looking for a knife to do some carcass work. Now, the owner of the home, he was an avid hunter, and I guess he would butcher his own game. So I believe that's what he may have been using this knife for. With this knife, with these two smaller knives that appear to be almost identical, these knives, interestingly enough, the handles are very similar construction. Okay, you can see. But these knives are marked made in Switzerland stainless steel. So that's kind of a odd thing to me, that, you know, I'd swear these were made by the same company, but this is a Mora knife from Sweden, and this is a couple of knives that, other than being marked with made in Switzerland stainless steel, have no indication as to who made these. These are nice little knives, though. Okay, seem to be very well made. So if he doesn't have an interest in these, I might even keep maybe one or both of these for our own kitchen drawer upstairs. And then last with this stuff was, oddly enough, one of these was sitting up with this pile of stuff. This one was laying on the cellar floor. I don't know if it had fallen there and got kicked over or what, but as I was walking out, I saw it laying there, and I added it to the pile. Clearly, this is a pair. So these are sharpening steels, I believe is what they call these. And this has got a round profile. It comes to a point. This one has almost like a thick sword blade type of profile. If you cut the cross section of this, it would look like a football that's squashed down, for lack of a better term. It would look like Stewie's head on Family Guy. So anyways, these, I can't find any markings other than right here they say Solingen-Germany. So Solingen-Germany. So I looked this up, and turns out Solingen is a area in Germany where they're doing a lot of knife making. And so I'm not able to figure out exactly who makes these, because there's more than one manufacturer there in Solingen. As luck would have it, I originally thought that this only said Solingen, Germany on both of these, but it turns out that on this round one, right next to where it says Solingen, Germany, I was able to just make out something else. And what it is it literally says GUST period EMIL period ERN. And what that's abbreviated is, it's Gustav Emil Ern. And then a quick Google showed me that, in fact, that is a actual manufacturer or maker of these stones, these sharpening stones, steels, sharpening steels, not stones. Yeah, so how about that? Dual Gustavs in one video. Got this Gustav Euler and some Gustav sharpening steels. Look at that. That's a triple Gustav. Alright, let's cut this video. I think we've said enough. Oh, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And look forward to having you tune in again. Take care.